Well, a good Friday afternoon to you. It's Dan. I want to welcome everyone to my home in the sticks. Hope everybody's having a good Friday and I hope everybody's looking forward to the weekend. But over here in East Central Mississippi, I'm here to tell you, it's been in the high 50s in the morning and probably 81 to 82 degrees during the day. So it is sure enough nice weather over here. Before we get started on today's video, I'm always going to say that if you are new to the channel, I want to welcome you. And if you're returning just to see what old Dan's got going on over here, I sure enough thank you for coming back. But what I want to share with you and y'all today is I bought a piece of equipment to help me on the farm. So give me a second and I'm finna show you. Dan, what you done bought? Nah, well, I'm here to tell you it's something that I debated on buying and I'm glad I did. I'm gonna show you why. There's my pasture. I cut this one down, I don't know, a couple of weeks back or whatever. Hey Trey. But I cut this thing down, but I have to make sure that I keep all of the dog fennel and all the other weeds at bay. The best way to do it is to spray it. I also have a lot of fence line or fence row that I have to spray. I need to spray that fence row down the back and on the sides. So I have a lot of pasture and fence row that I have to spray. Now what I did was I actually bought a 4-gallon backpack sprayer, thinking, yeah, I'll be able to spray that. But once I got to thinking about it, you know how many times I'm gonna have to fill up a 4-gallon backpack sprayer to do a 5-acre pasture, a fenced-in horse pasture? I'm gonna have to fill that joke up a lot of times. Let me show you some other stuff. Got a lot of weeds around the fig trees that I need to take care of. I need to actually spray my pea field. Got to spray that down. Haven't taken up those T-posts yet. Just got so much going on. But I got to take that up as well. Need to spray that pea field. All of this stuff right here, I got to spray it. That burn pile that's behind this 20-foot trailer, I got to spray all of that as well. Burn it and then spray it. But I just have a lot of fence row, probably about 15 acres of fence row that I have to get sprayed, and I have to cut back, get the kudzu and stuff like that. I need to get that under control. A lot of people say kudzu. What is kudzu? Well, it is invasive here in East Central Mississippi. It was actually brought to Mississippi and probably other places to control soil erosion. But what it does, it just takes over everything. I'll show you right quick. So this is a good example of kudzu taking over something. This is a crepe myrtle right here. And here's a crepe myrtle that does not have any kudzu attacking it yet. But this is kudzu. And I have kudzu all down that fence row. It just takes over everything. See how it's getting on top of this crepe myrtle? It'll actually kill this crepe myrtle if I don't pull it. But that's what I have to deal with. All right, Dan, so what did you invest in? Let me show you. That right there is a 25-gallon Chapin sprayer. What makes this different from all the other sprayers is this is a 25-gallon mix on exit sprayer. This tank holds 25 gallons of water. This tank up here holds the chemicals that you are going to use to spray whatever it is that you want to spray. This is kind of like a first impressions type video. I have some things that I have to do with this sprayer. I'll tell you about that here in a second, but I'm just going to tell you what I know about this sprayer, maybe to help you make an informed decision. If you have a lot of land that you need to spray, I'll show you what I have and what I'm going to do with it. This is the tank that actually holds the chemical, and it holds 2 gallons of chemicals. They have nice wide mouths that you could spray put your chemicals in. The lids for it are real nice and wide. You can get your hands around it. This unit comes with a 15-foot wand. This is 15 foot of some pretty high-grade rubber or hose. And of course, it's got the wand right here that attaches to the back of the sprayer. It's pretty neat how they design that. I am not too keen on the Chapin pump, but I'm going to run it as long as I can. I may switch this out to a Delavan pump, not really sure. The really cool thing about the freshwater tank is it's got a huge lid. I don't know what this thing's called, but whatever you put on it to screw it down. It's got a strainer, and it's got an extremely wide mouth on it, which is really cool. You look down in there, your pickup tube is down there. They might have some literature in there I need to get out. But anyways, I haven't used this spray as of yet. I just got it. I have to make a few modifications. This sprayer is mainly designed to go on probably an ATV, like a four-wheel or something. I have this sitting in the back of my mule. I actually got a buddy of mine to weld some cleats onto the bed of my mule, because there's a ratchet system that runs around this thing, and of course I could hook onto here, ratchet this thing down, and I'll show y'all next video so when I actually use it. But it keeps it in place. I actually had to make a little platform because the drain tube was actually sitting on the bottom or in the bed of the mule, so I had to lift it up so I can drain this thing. No big deal, wasn't hard to do. Now, how does this thing work, and what does the mix on exit thing do? Well, what happens is once you fill your chemicals up in this container here, it draws fresh water, and this tube right here is what draws the chemicals from this tank. Of course, you set your, well, let me see if I can get up here. There's some numbers right here. I don't know if you can see it. There's numbers. I think it's 0 through 7, and each number represents a certain amount of ounces that this thing will pull out per gallon of water. So if I want to spray 1 ounce of chemical to every gallon of water, I just take this thing and flip it around to 1. I mean, I hope y'all can see that. It's getting kind of dark out here. But 1. Got it on 1. It means that it's gonna let out 1 ounce of chemical to a gallon of water. And of course, goes through the pump. Pump pumps it out into the hose, or on this specific model, I could spot spray, which I'm gonna do a lot of, or I can hook a boom up, which I'm probably gonna do later on to spray my pastures. But it's just that easy. I want to use the boom, I go that way. I want to spot spray using that wand, I go to spot. Over here, this is what controls the actual pump, how you prime it and how long the pump actually works. And again, haven't used this thing yet, but I'm going to fill it up with water and probably water some my golden loquat trees maybe later on, just to test it out and set and prime the pump. So that'd be something that we can look at together when the time comes. It is a solidly built unit. I really like it. Another cool feature about this is on these chemical tanks, you have one chemical tank comes with the 25-gallon setup. On this side, you can actually label your chemicals. I'm probably gonna use eraser and BK32 in this chemical container, so I could just write it on here. What I did was I actually spent 30 bucks and bought an extra container. Let's see, mix on exit, and they call it a concentrate tank or chemical tank. I call it a chemical tank. But this one, I'm probably going to fill this one up with probably some Grazon next when I actually spray my pasture for that dog fennel. I have this tank that I can fill with Grazon, and I could just leave the chemical in this tank. Now, what are you talking about, Dan? What does that mean? Well, once I get finished spraying my eraser BK32 using this container, all I have to do is take this container off, disconnect it from here, and hypothetically, if I have Grazon in this one, I just pop this tank on top of here, plug it up, and now I'm ready to rock and roll with Grazon next. Now, some things I've heard, have not experienced it yet, but I'm sure that I will. We're going to see if it's true or false. It's just reviews that I've read. I've heard that if you leave the chemical tank and its line plugged in, there's a possibility that the chemical that you have in here could link into your freshwater tank. Don't know, haven't figured that out yet, or haven't seen that yet because I haven't used the sprayer yet. But my thinking on that is, that's the reason why you get a mix on exit system. Just like a pump up sprayer or backpack sprayer, once you load it up with chemicals, you use it, you have to wash it out real thoroughly before you can dump more chemicals in it to spray whatever it is that you want to spray. I wanted to get away from that, and that's why I got this. Fill this guy up with 25 gallons of fresh water, use the chemicals that I want, unplug it, I still have fresh water to do whatever I want to do with it. That's the whole premise or purpose behind mix on exit sprayers. The chemical does not mix with the fresh water. It's just fresh water, have a chemical tank, pull off the chemical tank to spray whatever it is you want to spray. So that's what I wanted to share with you and y'all today. I wanted to show you a piece of equipment that I bought for the farm. I think it's going to work out really good. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the reason why I haven't been using it yet is I have to actually get some more of this 18 gauge wire and wire it to my battery on my mule. And I'm probably going to put a on and off switch somewhere here or maybe here where I could actually turn the pump on, turn it off from inside the cab of the mule, because this thing has I think it's 8 foot of wire that's already rigged up with an on and off switch and an inline fuse. It's not going to be long enough to make it to my battery on the mule. So I'm going to have to do some wiring, which is no big deal, just takes a little bit of time. And I'm actually kind of glad because it has stopped raining finally, so stuff is starting to dry off or dry up. So that's going to work out good. Just got to do a few modifications on getting power to the pump to work. So again, I hope everybody's having a show enough Good Friday, and I hope everybody stays safe this weekend amid this crisis that we still have going on. If you like this video, go and give it a thumbs up to help. If you haven't subscribed to the Home and Stick channel, Lord of mercy. Y'all need to come on over here and give old Dan a look, because I'm always doing stuff like fixing to spray pastures and fence rows. That being said, you know it's coming down reference showing up. I always gonna say it. Don't let nobody dull your shine. And I mean nobody. You show enough, get your shine on, get your grow on. It's important. And Dan will see you and y'all in the next video.